Hello everyone. In this video, I will be talking about the new checklist that has been uploaded by the VFS Global for the OCI application of minor. In this video, I will just be talking about the checklist, the complete process and the application steps and the order in which the steps need to be performed. I have mentioned in another video. It is a long video and I cannot fit in all those details in a shorter video, so I'm just focusing on the checklist part. If you are new to the OCI minor application, so first of all watch that video. I will post the link of the video in the description below, and also I will be suggesting that video at the end of this current video. So before that, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So let's get started. So currently this is the checklist that has been provided by the VFS Global for the minor application. There is a subtle change between the previous checklist and the current checklist. So in the current checklist, there is no word of notarized for the OCI application form. So as per the new checklist, there is no need to notarize the application form. As per the new checklist, you just need to provide the signature of father, signature of mother if the applicant is a minor. So that is part 1, and additional details of this can be seen in my source video, which is posted in the description. Now with respect to the photograph and signature, you will be uploading a photograph of the child, and the same photograph should have the physical copies, and you would be providing in total 2 physical copies of the photograph. And for the signature, if the child is above the age of 5 years, he or she should provide the signature, even if it is very simple signature. And if the child is below the age of 5 years, then you need to take the fingerprint of the left hand thumb impression. So make sure of that. And also the photograph and the signature of the parents and the child should be consistent throughout the application of the OCI. So please make sure of that. Now if you go to the next document, it is parental authorization form. So this authorization form needs to be notarized, and the original notarized form needs to be provided to the VFS Global office through mail. So let's check what the document is. If you click here for the format, you will get the latest format. So you need to click the links provided in the latest checklist so that you can get the latest format. So I will not be providing these formatted documents in the description. So now let's go to the parental authorization for minors. For children under 18 years old, this has to be the father's name, this has to be the mother's name, and this has to be the name of the child, date of birth of the child, and this has to be the address of the child or the parents. And here it has to be the issuance of OCI card needs to be checked compulsorily. This is the place, city and state name, and this is the date. Here comes the mother's signature, here comes the father's signature, and finally you need to provide the notary public's signature and stamp or the notarization below this. And make sure that you sign this document in front of the notary public, otherwise you would not be able to notarize it. You should never sign this document from home, because the notary public would not accept. You need to sign in the presence of the notary public itself. This completes the parental authorization form, and then you need to provide the copy of the current valid passport. So that means it is the US passport of the minor child or the applicant, and you need to provide only a copy. You should not provide the original passport. The passport should have a validity of minimum 6 months at the time of the application, and make sure that you provide the information page of the passport. So usually I tell the first 3 pages and the last 2 pages. Now when you see the first 3 pages, on page 2 there has to be a signature of one of the parents, and the page 3 has the photograph and the information of the child. So those 3 pages need to be provided, and the last 2 pages you will see that those are blank. Still you need to provide them. Those are called as the amendment or the endorsement pages. If it is blank, it means that there has not been any amendment or endorsement on the passport after it has been issued. Although it is blank, make sure you submit it as part of the application. Now here it is saying the document must be self-attested. Do not take the thumbprint of the child. The father and the mother on each of the page at the bottom need to sign the document. So that is self-attestation, and you can sign either in black or blue ink, but usually if it has to deal with the official process of Indian Embassy, I use blue ink pen. If it is the official process of the USA government, I use black pen. So that is one thing. Next comes the birth certificate. Many people ask me whether it has to be original birth certificate. No, it can be a copy of the birth certificate, or you can also provide original birth certificate if you have multiple original birth certificate copies. It must reflect all the details of the applicants, like the name of the parents, date of birth and nationality. And again, the document must be self-attested. It means that the signature of both mother and father need to be present at the bottom of each page. Now comes the evidence of the Indian origin of the child. So either it can be parents are Indian citizens, or grandparents are Indian citizens currently, or great grandparents are Indian citizens. You need to provide the document depending on your condition. In my case, we just provided the copy of the parents' Indian passports because the parents are Indians and the child was born in US and is a US citizen. So copy of the parents' Indian passport needs to be provided. Once again, the first two pages and the last two pages. When I mention first two pages, both the pages, if you take a printout, it comes in a one legal size or one A4 sheet. It's basically first two pages and last two pages. It will contain all the photo pages, information pages, and also the page containing the spouse name or the parent's name. All those pages need to be present in your Xerox copy or the photocopies. So that is the evidence of the Indian origin. Now comes the name change document. This might not be applicable in case of a minor child. We do not often change the name of a minor child multiple times, but if you have changed, then you need to provide the name change document, which is a duly notarized affidavit regarding the change in name. Then comes the marriage certificate. So it is the marriage certificate of the parents. Make sure that it has to be issued by marriage registrar, and if it has been issued by a religious body, it will not be accepted. And once again, the document must be self-attested. So it must be self-attested by the owner of that certificate. So that means both parents are the owner of that certificate. So both the parents, mother and father, need to sign at the bottom of each page of the marriage certificate. Then comes copies of current passport of the parents. You must have already submitted it if the parents are Indian. If not, if you submitted some other documents, then if the parents are US citizens, then you need to provide the copy of the current US passport of the parents, and they must sign the document at the bottom of the page. Now how it goes with this is, now if it is a father's passport, then he must sign at the bottom of the passport copy pages. Now if it is a mother's passport, then the mother needs to sign the physical photocopy of the mother's passport at the bottom of the page. Once again, with blue ink pen would be good idea. Now you need to provide the copy of naturalization certificate and current passport, foreign passports of parents if they have any other nationality apart from US or India. Then you need to provide the current foreign passport, and also if they have attained US citizenship through naturalization, then you need to provide the naturalization certificate. So this is an additional document. If it is applicable in your case, then you provide, otherwise you do not provide this. Then comes the proof of legal status of parents in the US. So this is a compulsory document. Now with what basis do the parents, father and mother, live in the United States? So if they are the US citizens, you have already provided the US passport photocopy. But if they are not US citizens, Then what is the legal status of parents? You need to submit the visa copy of both the parents. So visa copy of father, visa copy of mother, and each one of them should self-attest. Father self-attest the father's visa and mother attest the mother's visa copy. Apart from visa, you can also provide valid green card copy or copy of valid EAD card or copy of valid long-term US visa or I-797 approval notice or receipt notice, along with recently expired visa may be submitted. So any one of the following documents, and you need to make sure that you need to submit the document for both father and mother. So if you do not submit mother's legal status document copy, then the application will get rejected or it will be put on hold, and there would be a request for evidence from VFS. So it elongates your process, and also it involves additional cost for mailing, because VFS will not accept a document copies through email. They would ask you to FedEx or UPS those documents to VFS. So next comes copy of OCI cards issued to parents. So this is if applicable or if available, then you need to provide, otherwise it's not necessary. Then copy of Indian visa of the applicant if he or she has ever obtained it. If it is applicable to your case, then you need to compulsorily provide it. But if you do not have an Indian visa, then you can skip it. Now comes the proof of address. The document must be self-attested. Now you need to see here, there has been a change in the new checklist regarding the proof of address. You not only provide the address proof copy such as driving license or a utility bill, but along with that you also need to provide a notarized undertaking form. So I will be showing you the notarized undertaking form, but first of all try to understand this. Now if the proof of address have both the names of parents, father and mother, then both of them needs to sign at the bottom of the photocopy page. If only one name is present, so if it is father's driving license, then the father needs to sign at the bottom of the driving license copy. So that needs to be done. And after that you need to provide a notarized undertaking. So that particular form is this. So you need to prepare this document. So this is the father's name should be present in the from statement. There has to be subject, address, undertaking, file reference number, and this is the place name, the date. Then you need to mention to the consular officer with reference to OCI application file reference number, I, father's name, father's passport number, father of applicant's name or child's name, undertake as under, my son or daughter is living with my spouse and I at the following address, and I have provided dash bill or driving license or any other proof as address proof with my name on it. Yours sincerely. Then father's signature should be here, and then it has to be notary public notarization here, both the signature and the stamp, and you need to sign it in front of the notary public. So this is the address undertaking form. You need to write this document by yourself and take the notarization. After that you need to come to the 15th one, which is proof of native address for non-US nationals living in the United States. This is not applicable in case of an applicant who is a US national, so you can skip it. And then comes affidavit in lieu of originals. So this is an affidavit saying that the photocopies that I am providing are the true copy of the originals, and the originals have been verified by the notary public. You need to provide this document. It is a compulsory document. You need notary on it. For the format, you need to click here for the format. The format might change, so you need to click on the link provided in the new checklist. So that document is basically this. Now you need to make sure that whatever photocopies you are providing, you need to name those documents over here and provide the document number and to whom that document belongs. So you basically need to write that, and the document starts as you need to write father's name, comma, mother's name, and then you need to mention, I have mentioned multiple documents. So if you are providing additional documents as per your case or situation, then you need to mention those additional documents as well. You need to write US passport, the number of the US passport of applicant's name, basically child's name, then the address proof, bracket you can mention whether it is utility bill or driving license, then passports of father's name and passport number, comma, mother's name, bracket, the passport number of the mother. So you need to write that. Then legal status document name of father's name, comma, mother's name. So basically you can mention US visas of father's name, you need to write comma, mother's name. Then marriage certificate of parents, you can write it as it is. Then this is birth certificate of applicant, and you can add the names of all other applicable documents in your case. So whatever photocopies you are providing, you need to mention those names over here, and all these documents with their originals need to be taken to the notary public. The notary public verifies whether the Xerox copy or a photocopy that you are providing is a true copy of the original documents. So he verifies all this information, and then he provides the notary public notarization signature and stamp at the bottom of this document. So in front of the notary public, the father must sign the document and also the mother must sign this document. So this completes the notarized affidavit in lieu of originals. After that, there is undertaking by the OCI applicant. For latest format, you need to click over here, and then it goes to undertaking by the OCI applicant. Now this form need not be signed by a minor child if the child is less than 5 years of age. So you just need to write file reference number over here, and then you can write the father's signature and father's name over here, and then mother's signature and mother's name over at the bottom within the braces or the bracket, and then no need to notarize this undertaking document. So once that is done, you need to go to the 18th document, which is a consent letter. So you are basically authorizing Indian Embassy to make any changes or corrections if they observe any errors in the OCI application. So only minor errors, if there are present with respect to the original or the true copy documents you have submitted, they make some changes. They try to minimize workload on you. They try not to postpone your applications. For that, you need to provide a consent letter, and for the latest format, you need to click over here, and then this is the document. You need to add the file reference number over here, and then instead of the signature of OCI applicant, the father's signature can be here, then followed by father's name, mother's signature over here, followed by mother's name, and no need to get it notarized. So it is just a consent letter which is not notarized. Now another thing I want to mention is the checklist is most often updated by the VFS. Now maybe tomorrow, after 2 months, they would mention that the consent letter needs to be notarized. So they will mention notarized consent letter. So in such case, you need to also notarize the consent letter. But currently, the current document as of June 2024, the consent letter need not be notarized. So that you need to remember. And then the fee receipt, after you make the payment on the VFS Global website, you receive an email confirmation, which is a confirmation letter or the payment confirmation. You need to take a printout of that and you need to include in your mailing package. So for the whole process of the OCI minor application, you can watch the video in the description below. And this is just a video talking about the new checklist and the changes that have been made in the new checklist. And also, like, one more point over here is you cannot send personal check as part of the payment. I would recommend everyone to make a payment online using debit or credit card. But if you want to send a money order or banker's check, that is possible, and it should be made in favor of VFS services (USA INC dot). But personal checks are not acceptable. So this completes our checklist. Then at the end of the checklist, then there are the summary of the supporting documents that you can send. Some might not be applicable in your case, so you can skip them. And then finally, there are some common mistakes in OCI applications resulting in rejection. So you need to make sure that you are not making this mistake. If this video has been helpful, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your support. Take care. Bye bye.